2019 Mountain Dew GSL Season 3 Code S Reversal.
All right, we're back. It's time to eliminate one of the two players in the losers match. herO versus Cure. I'm a little bit worried for herO here. He is still playing kind of that same style that brought him a lot of success in the past, but it does not seem to be anywhere near as effective anymore. You know, a lot of these very sharp timing attacks, a lot of his attacks completely hinged on having perfect micro and winning. And, you know, for a while, herO literally did have the best control in the game, but it's not working for him so far.
Yeah, I think he's not playing poorly today, but I think that Cure overall, with his generally solid style, should have what it takes to withstand herO in a best-of-3.
In a lot of ways, Cure is like the opposite of herO entirely.
Yeah.
Very solid, very safe, very ladderish, high-rank ladderish.
I always, yeah, ladderish. That is the best way to...
Yeah.
He is a little bit
That's
ladderish.
my favorite flavor, is ladderish.
His latitude ranking is quite high.
We're going to be on Triton for Game 1. Immediately picked here by herO. Let's see what he's got. Again, herO, a little bit cheesy sometimes, a little bit aggressive. Maybe he's got a new strat, one of those strats you can only pull off once on a map.
Maybe.
You know, once it's revealed, it's like showing how a magic trick works.
Yeah.
You can never do it again, but maybe he's got something up his sleeve. We'll see. Our game's actually already loaded up. herO versus Cure begins now.
Triumphant Song Gaming, herO.
Of course, we want him to win if we want TVPs only tonight.
That's the goal. Only TVPs.
Jin Air Green Wings, Cure.
It certainly feels, though, like whoever goes up is being fed to TY. You know?
Oh, like he's
I don't see TY
being
losing
thrown to the
either
Lions.
player. Yeah, except the Lions is actually just TY.
Yeah.
Much scarier than Lions.
Absolutely. It's like a lion that can open doors, like the Velociraptors, Artosis.
Yeah. He's also really smart. Like he's wearing some sort of helmet that makes lions really smart.
Here's herO support in the audience. I'm kind of rooting for herO too, actually. I would like to see him advance. I enjoy casting herO's games.
I actually really like Cure right now. He's slowly over the last maybe 3-4 seasons, he's become one of my favorite players to watch, to be honest. Because he's like, I'm waiting for that moment where he really does break through. We haven't seen it yet, but it feels like he's very close. Look at that. It's actually in Legacy of the Void Cure favored in this matchup. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. So we've got a CC being thrown down here. herO is taking a fast expand as well. We're waiting for that cybernetics core to finish so we have a much clearer idea of what exactly the tech's going to be.
Yeah. So Tasteless, how are the games tonight stacking up against Group A, would you say?
They're too short compared to Group A, Artosis.
Yeah?
Group A was, I think, that was longer than like 2 of the Lord of the Rings movies put together.
Yeah. Oh,
that was actually
extended cut or regular cut?
Extended cut.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's very
They were very long. It was very interesting to watch No Regret cast for 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
As we get to hour 4 and his eyes are getting a little bit red. He's getting a little bit tired.
Yeah.
I mean, he did an excellent job.
Weakling.
He doesn't have those caster muscles that we've built up over all these years, Artosis.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, it was. The thing is, what was weird about Group A when you were gone was that the just kind of seeing the predicament of TVZ late game. Infestor, Broodlord. What is Terran exactly supposed to do?
Yeah.
When exchanges do not go well, it seems like the Zerg just gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it's just got this insurmountable lead. So I'm very curious as time passes to see what Terrans are going to devise to stop that.
Right now, it's still a little bit fresh, still a little bit new, right?
Oh, for sure,
This
yeah.
patch. And
I think there's almost too much call to alarm whenever you see something that looks too strong right after a patch.
always, there is.
It's actually,
Every time.
frankly, I'm exhausted of hearing it. You know, right when there's a patch, everybody needs to calm down and just start
Everyone
tinkering.
overreacts to everything all the time.
Well, that is the current state of gaming because companies listen to.
I think that's the current
loudest
state
voice.
of everything in the whole world.
Oh, actually, that might be true.
Yeah.
Everything is an overreaction to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to chill out.
Yes. Now we have Blink coming here.
And a quick +1 armor.
Now,
That's
what do you think with the armor there?
Well, I
mean, it's
think
not a bad
fine.
upgrade to have, but
What interests me, like, I think what he's doing here is blink just for some defensive purposes, and then he'll go instantly into Psystorm and charge.
okay.
It's the only thing that really makes sense to me, because he took 2 more gases at his natural as well. So it doesn't really fit with anything else to get that much gas. Like, if you get the quick armor, sometimes you're going very Zealot heavy, but then you're going to want a 3rd base more quickly, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going Storm, you definitely can, you know, sit on the 2 base, get all that gas right away. So when you take those 2 gases, it really does delay your 3rd base quite a bit. So a defensive cannon actually coming up, which is kind of interesting.
Okay, here comes the first Widowmine drop. And it seems like this was split basically perfectly. Whoa, almost lost the sentry. So nicely handled there. Cure's medevac is going to be stuck up in the upper left for a while now, with no real utility there. And the second Widowmine drop's going to come in. Now, let's remember, in past games that we've seen here, sometimes it's like the 3rd or 4th Widowmine drop that really actually does the damage. We've seen it where we see these drops being almost entirely unimpactful. Oh, this is pretty smart.
He saw it.
Yeah.
I don't think he saw it, even though he had a pylon there.
Oh, hero's not reacting in time.
Oh my god, that was a massive Widowmine drop. 11 kills. So worthwhile. Oh, and look at that.
All right, they've traded places now.
Oh, I love it.
It's like a
And he got one
baton
out.
race, yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
And now that Stalker has to stand there forever.
Do you feel like hero's just a little bit too rusty, man?
No, I don't think it's necessarily rust. I think, like, he's in decent shape right now. Yeah, he was probably the best Protoss around about almost exactly 2 years ago. I would definitely come very close to agreeing with that statement 100%. But, you know, he has his own style. He has this way that he's trying to play. It's not fitting perfectly. You know, the thing is, we only have 3 Protosses right now that are really being consistent. Because if you look at all the others, SOS, Zest, herO, these are all Protosses that are very good, but are not very consistent right now. Even Stats' consistency went down a little bit this year.
Yeah.
But really, it's Trap and Classic have been very consistent, and then Stats still somewhat. So I feel like that's what we're seeing, because his peaks still look very good, but, you know, there's definitely games where things are not going that well for him.
Okay, Stim is finished up. Stalkers are coming out. And I think we're probably going to see Terran get a little bit more active here. You know, a lot of these Widowmine drops are leading up. You know, you're trying to slow the Protoss down as much as possible economically, and then eventually with some kind of big attack, you're going to come in there and they just won't have what they would have had they've gone untouched.
It's interesting, by the way. +2 is going to be finishing up relatively soon here, so that is very strong when you have +2. +2 charge lots are amazing. But what he's been sending his gas on isn't what I thought it would be. Oh my god,
is he going to get him off? Okay, good pull away.
This was awesome, though. This was really good.
And there's actually another medevac that's going to be doing another Widowmine drop. He was a little bit slow on the move here, but he does pull his probes away in time.
Yeah, nice blink there. But these moves are good. But yeah, anyways, back to what I was mentioning.
Yeah.
Like, I thought for sure he'd be going to Psystorm with the amount of gas he got, but he actually went into Sentries. So he's got some Immortals, he's got Sentries, he's got +2 armor, blink, and charge.
He's now getting attack as well.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But this is like all Stalkers. Where's his Zealots?
Force field's coming down here. Terran's got to be careful. This angling, it's funny because they're actually both trying to attack into each other, and they've kind of gone around each other now. So Terran is going to be the one because it's closer to his base. He has to come back and defend. He's going to stim. This angle is actually very dangerous. He does manage to get his army up there, though.
Yeah, really important. Some force fields do go down, so he's starting to utilize all those sentries he warped in. Doesn't feel like obviously, you know, having Guardian Shield and +2 armor is absolutely awesome. I don't know if the sentries are doing as much as I would want for the amount of resources he put into them. You normally don't see like 5 sentries right now, right? It's kind of weird for PvT right now.
Yeah, well, especially at this
You
phase
can
of
definitely
the game.
Yeah, like I feel like, you know, 5 sentries, that feels like a timing attack, basically.
Was that weird that Protoss even attacked out there? That was an odd moment. Terran's on 2 bases.
Well, nothing seemed like it fit that well. Like lots of sentries and blink stalkers. I'm like, okay, yeah, kind of, but then
it almost
+2
seems like
armor.
he's playing against a different Terran player right now. You know what I mean? Like it's like he's seeing a different game than what we're seeing here. Because you don't really move out. You know, Terran powering on 2 bases a very late third. I mean, this is a 150 supply Terran. I think the CC is just now going to land. You don't normally, as Protoss on 3 bases, say, all right, time to move out. Let's start trying to pick a fight with the Terran. Normally, you would look at this, and even if you had a timing attack set up, you'd say, well, I mean, basic RTS theory would say, you're on 3 bases, he's on 2. It's actually now, the game is now his problem, not yours.
Yeah, which is where I think his sentries come in, because again, you mentioned like you would be going for a timing attack, and I think when you make that many sentries, that probably was the plan, but we didn't, like it didn't really come to too much. So right now, Cure kind of roaming the map, rotating his army around a little bit. It's becoming a very scary army right now. That's a lot of sentry energy still. It didn't get a lot done earlier, but he didn't lose them. So he's going to have a lot of Guardian Shields, a lot of force fields to contend with.
Okay, Terran's going to come in here. Now, there's going to be a Storm Drop from behind that's going to be really strong if he can pull it off. I don't think Terran should be pushing into this angle.
This is dangerous. There's no doubt.
This looks just like way too hard to break. And every Widowmine shot he's trying to bait out. This is just not a good place to fight.
It's funny. It feels like he's doing semi all right, but he could never win this.
Yeah.
It could never happen.
When we zoom out, it's like, okay, 100%, there's no way this works. Nice EMP as the Templar comes out. That was pretty sick.
He zapped him there.
Yeah. And now we have Zealots coming in. Seems like now Protoss suddenly realizes they don't have any key tech units. Now, okay, Immortals and Templars are back here. You can continue to push. Can't just in late game attack with just Zealots and Stalkers, generally.
Yeah, generally not. He does have that beautiful +2 armor as well as the Guardian Shield, which definitely gives him a lot of stability with this force overall. But as long as Kier is playing defensively and kiting backwards, it feels like he should be able to keep his army at a high value. Wow, these EMPs are insane.
Okay, he is slowly pressing forward. Enhanced Shockwave is about to finish, a.k.a. Blood Moon EMP, as Artosis likes to call it.
Blood Moon EMP.
I think it's a little bit weird, but whatever.
Oh
you know,
my God.
He likes vampires a lot. I get it. It's cool.
Is Blood Moon a vampire thing or a werewolf thing?
I think werewolves and vampires actually can overlap in that whole universe.
It matters which universe. Like sometimes they fight each other.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, you know, these are not. It's not like aliens and werewolves. Actually, there's a good. Someone get on that right now.
Did you see that Aliens vs. Cowboys movie?
No, is it? What is it?
Aliens vs. Cowboys.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
I need to see it right now. I have seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
It's surprisingly good. Yeah, no, that scared me as a kid.
That's a good one. Okay, Terran attacks in again. The Protoss army just totally engulfs this.
The mines seemed like they didn't really get to go off there. The MPs have done some work on a few of these Archon shields, but he's not really able to finish much off. He actually holds everything over here. His worker count is still really legitimate, but look at that army. This is a really scary army.
Okay, he's coming forward.
You can't just engage this willy-nilly. But then you hit the EMPs right there. Very nice. Wow, good dodging on the Disruptor hit. Never turn your Disruptor balls.
Okay, he's going to try to come in again. Really, Cure is actually showing an impressive fight. It almost seems like he might just out-bulk Cure here. I'm sorry, herO here, because like if you look at it, herO's army is getting smaller and smaller.
But it's getting more technical, too.
That's true. We have a Colossus that's going to come into play here as well.
Yeah.
It's a very odd game, just seeing two players on 3 bases just push into each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a very...
There's a lot of... It's a game with a lot of engagements, which I think is what herO generally looks for.
Ooh. All right, nice dodge. He's going to try to collapse in, but I think there might be just enough disruptors that you can stagger this. Okay, I guess not. I was going to say you could kind of stagger it where the infantry can never zone into that area.
They shot 2 together that first time, so ends up hitting 1 good disruptor shot, losing a little bit as well. It's like a Zealot Prism being sent across the map. Looks like 7 Zealots were told to go into that. Didn't work out.
And now they're going to go ahead and just back up. Protoss has a 4th, as does Terran, by the way.
Ooh,
oh, that's a big catch.
Oh, that is a big catch.
Well, so much for your Warp Prism harass. There is an army that's about to collide in here. Here it is. It's these Stalkers. And he'll probably have to use recall here to get these out once this is finally done. But yeah, not bad. I mean, he comes here and gets, what, 8 workers?
Yeah, definitely not bad, as long as he does not end up losing all of these.
Okay, so we should have that recall now. I can't imagine him waiting much longer.
Yeah, okay. So, not the greatest, not the worst. More disruptors coming. He does have double robo. It's interesting to see the disruptors being the choice here, especially with how strong his upgrades are. He's on 2 attack, 3 armor. And his army is like hilariously small, but
yeah,
very microable, very technical, which is a cool thing because herO is quite strong in control and in taking battles well. Is that going to be enough, though? Because this army of Cure is definitely scary, and his EMPs have been on point.
Okay, stimming and coming forward now. Hold on. Oh, really good EMPs. That's the exact EMP that you need to win a game like this. Now, it's not over yet, but disabling those Templars is huge. We got a great counterattack here from, we can see herO coming in with those Zealots, hitting that additional base. But right now, I'm much more worried for herO against this giant army that Cure has. Cure's already got a little bit of his army lodged up, just now taking out that Nexus. And this big army down here is basically zoned out the Stalkers, the Colossi, and everything else. You're just not able to get in over there.
herO needs...
And he's actually just going to go for the main. This is going to be brutal.
Yeah, this really looks bad right now for herO.
You know, Cure might have lost an expansion, but this is all of the tech. Normally, this is like a weird way that Zergs can die, but in this case, this is going to be how Cure does it.
This was quite an interesting game as herO comes up. This should be the final engagement.
I really enjoyed this game, but very unusual. Very unusual play here. Some more Zealots are going to come in here and try to thin this army out. Those Colossi shots really starting to pay off here, but eventually they do get targeted down.
And he shouldn't just boost out of here.
Yeah.
Just feel like, oh, no, maybe he actually does kill it.
There's another wave that's coming up here. Yeah, there's just too many Marauders. Marauders, when they have enough medevacs over them, they have so much more sustain. GG.
But yeah, that was a really interesting game, especially from herO's end.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on exactly what his idea was with the rushed +2 armor, the 4 gases on 2 bases into lots of Sentry Stalker, which, like, there's pieces of it that I can look at and say, yes, this makes sense, and then when I put it all together, I'm like, huh, it's a little bit wonky altogether.
It almost looks like a build from years ago. Like, I'm going to fast expand, and then I'll get my Forge. It's just, I don't know, we don't really see that kind of play. I don't know. Anyways, Cure wins game 1. Game 2 is going to be on Thunderbird. Now, this is Cure's map pick.
Well, I guess it's better than Acropolis, at least. But I feel like it's not that bad a map here for herO. You know, you can get your 3 bases pretty darn easily. You're defending 1 area. So,
yeah,
definitely feels like one of these maps where you can still get away with these gateway openers.
Fight! Triumphant Song Gaming, herO. Jin Air Green Wings, Cure.
now, we wait to see exactly how herO wants to approach this.
I like that. That was your storybook voice. And
Yes.
now, we'll see what these two players want to do.
Yeah.
What strategies they have in store.
You gotta have a storybook voice, although that's not how I read to my kids.
Will their games entertain? Will we learn? Will we laugh? Will we cry?
Be a good voice for reading a book over the radio or something.
Yeah? Book voice radio?
Yeah.
I got it?
Totally.
All right. I'm going to get out of this casting gig, man. I'm a book voice radio guy. Now, I do wonder what herO's going to do this time around, because that last game, the build seemed a little bit weird. The fact that Cure was having a very conventional style. He was basically 2-basing, powering up very heavily, getting a lot of upgrades, and then only taking fights he can win.
Yeah.
What was weird about it was we saw both players pushing into each other, and usually that's just not...
Yeah, normally you don't meet in the center like that, and then both sides are trying to push forward.
Usually that means that somebody's wrong.
Yeah.
If you're both... when games pan out, somebody is supposed to be attacking, and the other one should be defending.
Yeah, generally, either Protoss is hitting you with something heavy and you should be back defending as Terran, or when you're moving out with a more steady attack like what we saw there, the Protoss will come out to slow it down and whittle it down as it goes back towards his base. But the fact that there was continued engagements, I feel like that was a stylistic thing coming from...
Well, herO takes more fights than almost any other pro gamer, because he tends to just eke out more damage with his control. But when you have like almost entirely Stalkers and Zealots against a stimmed army, there's like one Immortal and like one Templar.
Well,
it's like,
it was Stalker Sentry, so I think that's why you wanted to take the fights. If it's Stalker Zealot, that's the thing that was
the weird
so
thing
weird
about it too is that you have enough medevacs where usually you can throw down force fields and then they just pick them up and fly back. So.
I wonder if he was hedging bets or something with the armor upgrades first, because
I think he just has more sustain. He thinks,
like,
this is going to be an unusual fight. You won't be
with the exact attack he came out with. If he had +2 attack, he would have done better with it. You don't. The armor is. You're not like, I'm going to do Blink Stalker Sentry. I need armor.
Well, usually you need armor. Usually you want armor just so that the Zealots can soak up damage, and then you want like Colossi, for instance, doing the damage on the infantry.
I think the more I'm looking at it, the idea behind that was the Stalker Sentry whittles down a little bit of the Terran force, and then you're only warping in Zealots from there.
Okay.
And that would make sense, because then the armor upgrades might carry you over the top, and you're trying to just utilize micro, basically, with the first set of army. But, yeah. Anyways, didn't work out exactly the way he anticipated, I think. We'll see if he does anything similar to that in the future. Definitely remember that build. But right here we have, the Stargate opening, a little bit of pushing around with the Hellions and the 3 Adepts. No one quite wanting to commit. It's funny that he's going into Phoenixes here. Nothing too weird about that, though. +2 gates and Forge Twilight. Is there any chance that we see the return of Adept Phoenix here?
I would love to see that.
Because this build right now, it's either Adept Phoenix or Adept Charge.
But you know what's funny? You say the return of Adept Phoenix, but in a way, herO has a pretty anachronistic style, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as of late, it doesn't seem like herO has completely evolved like the rest of the Protoss players did. He's a little bit of like a time capsule Protoss. And there was a period where we saw this. So maybe he's just going to try to go back to an older build. And you know what? Sometimes, dude, old builds will beat completely top-tier players in a current meta.
Yeah. It definitely can happen.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my god, it's Blink and +1 attack with Phoenixes as opposed to Oracles. That's really interesting, because your actual damage of your army is going to be so low, your damage output, and your health, like everything about it. It seems to me that an actual attack from here like this that we're seeing, this is a bit scary, right?
Yeah. No, I think you nailed it, Artosis.
Like, he doesn't have medevacs with it.
But it's a lot.
Stasis wards are definitely going to help out here.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Oh. In a very odd moment, that actually helped him. The force fields actually allowed just the one Marine to trigger that. Okay, he stims again. Now, I think we're going to see the next wave of this army come down here with the medevacs, yeah.
I think that he needs to run with these Marines right now.
Yeah, I don't think he should be out
like,
here.
this is a great opportunity for him to actually attack into these. I'm very surprised.
Okay, he's going to get away.
There you go. That's what you need to do.
Very nicely handled. He needs to come over here, unload this army, and heal up.
That is exactly what he needs. And now I'm looking at this army. You better hope you get another good stasis ward here, my friend.
Okay, a scan is going to reveal those locations as well. So he instantly sets those two off. Now our force field's going to be enough. We do have some batteries here for sustain, but I think that's
they won't
almost
last
minimal
forever.
here, yeah.
The Phoenixes won't do very much either because it's
Phoenixes
Marines.
generally just can't do a lot against large groups of Marines. I mean, stim Marines do damage faster than almost anything in the game. And so it's just hard to ever be over that army. You know, if you had just Marauders or it was tanks you could pick up or something, but the Phoenixes basically become fairly useless, to be frank, in moments like this.
Well, herO's having some very good micro. His shield batteries are really paying for themselves right now. But the continued rally here is scary. It's very scary. Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay, well, he gets one. Oh, this might go completely wrong with this drop.
Okay, he's going to stim this all down. This is actually the worst possible play that Kier could have had here.
Yeah.
Because he had so much potential, so much momentum, but I mean, in reality, when you're against this many stalkers in a position like that, where like that is the obvious location you try to drop into, right? He basically took what was a pretty interesting setup and kind of threw everything away.
Well, herO is already playing defensively, right?
Right.
He's playing a defensive game. He has Blink. Okay? His army is mostly stalkers. We know that he loves stalkers anyways. Why are you trying to draw?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. This is actually the dream for Protoss.
Here's the funny thing, too. A lot of times I would criticize about trying to break the front, but in this particular game with Phoenix Stalker, I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, you can maybe whittle a little bit. But, yeah, there's been some weird decisions made this game by both sides, I feel like. I feel like if you kind of look at like the theory of some of these moves, they don't seem optimal.
We need herO to win here for our all PvT day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, today will be ruined with a mirror matchup. Actually, I really like TvT. TvT's actually in StarCraft 2 is one of my favorite matchups, to be totally honest.
Were the TvTs good the other night?
They were good.
Really good?
They were
just
good.
like kind of good.
Artosis.
Taste is good or Artosis is good?
You missed good. Their Artosis is good. Damn.
I appreciate that you realize that that's a better good.
Well, Artosis is a TvT guy, so you know you gotta know. Now we have concussive shells on the way. Terran's beginning to push out. We have herO on a fourth base, so it's really herO on the back foot here trying to defend. And another attack in here. Now, once again, Kier's already macroed up a pretty sizable army, a lot more Marauders here. The Zealots are going to come forward. These Widowmine connections should be huge, annihilating all the melee units.
Yeah, not enough to break through here, though. And the fact that he's going in Blink Stalker Disruptor, this is actually a comp that herO's quite good with. It's harassing on the other side as well with this Warp Prism.
Yeah, he's looking much stronger in this game. We probably have a big warp in there in the main as well. Meanwhile, we have herO beginning to push forward here. Kier's starting to lose on every front. Oh! Beautifully done.
And with these Zealots doing this harassment at the same time, starting to feel very, very good for herO.
Yeah. herO might be able to set up a killing blow here. Not 100%, but we'll see. I mean,
he's got to be a little bit careful, though. Like, this is how you throw a position where you gain an advantage. Because I feel like he has an advantage, but this is not game-ending right now. Kier can still play from here. He can still defend from here. It's really good for herO that he has that fourth base up, though. That is such an important aspect of this game for him. That's like how he's going to take this small lead that he's gained and really turn it into something.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the fourth base is the most important thing that's happening here. He's keeping a supply lead and also keeping an economic lead. And, you know, if he can keep this up for a little bit longer, he might want to wait for Kier to start to take his fourth, and then he attacks him. What am I seeing here? Okay, that was a bad rally.
Yeah, that's
to say the two Colossi going across the map is not something you really ever want.
No.
Colossi are just not good by themselves.
No, certainly they are not. Almost did just about everything by themselves. So this army it's getting pretty scary. He's got 2 sources of splash damage. He has 4 Colossus out now, +2 attack. Very, very strong. He's got his 2nd Forge going now as well. Ghosts on the way as well as a 2nd Starport. So it seems like Vikings are going to be coming in. Yeah, and I think you do need to go into a heavier air here from Cure. Sometimes I like Terran moves where they, you know, if you're playing against like lots of Colossi or something, and you know they have like lots of Blink Stalkers, let's say. Sometimes I like the Terran approach of, you know, making more like Marauders, for instance, and being like, okay,
yeah,
you know, I'll fight on the ground. It's going to be hard to get my Vikings to do the damage, but because, you know, we have these disruptors in here as well, that feels like impossible, you know.
Well, I mean, the disruptors negate the ability for you to ever really hold your ground.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no like special unit where you're like, oh, well, these things don't really take much damage to disruptor shots. So that's one of the things about the disruptor is it forces the army to respect space that you're going to take, assuming that the disruptor doesn't get shot down.
Now he's actually setting up a really nice defensive area right there. I don't know if he's going to make a planetary. It seems, yeah. Unfortunately, that's not done, though, so there might be a moment where he could get broken here. Whoa, that blink forward.
That was the most ambitious blink-in I've ever seen.
Is this Patience or is this herO? That was madness, that blink. And with that blink, it kind of shuts down his attack.
Yeah, that was a...
But it's okay, though. Like, herO's still completely fine. That's not like a game-throwing move. It's more like maybe he could have done something there, and now he can't. But he's getting into his fleet beacon, which is really, really nice for him.
All right, he's going to blink up here. And Terran's going to need to come over here and try to defend this. Again, it's just Stalkers that can get over here. And so he'll move back out easily.
Yeah, look at this. He's kind of rotating around, seeing if he can find some damage. Of course, he just used his blink, so a little bit hard here. Good EMP, a lot of damage going down on this army. A decent storm comes out.
Okay, you're beginning to sink his teeth in here. He starts to chase that away. I'm sorry, that's all the disruptors, right? Was that everything? There's no more with his army.
Disruptors?
Yeah.
Oh, did he pick it off?
I think he picked it. Unless I'm
yeah,
missing
he had
something.
2 of them. I wasn't sure.
Is there one more? Yeah, that's it. They're all gone.
Oh, well, that definitely.
So there goes. I got a little bit clumsy here by herO. We're continuing to see this game spike up, by the way. It's now 5 bases to 4. You can see that herO's trying to do as much harass as he possibly can, but it seems to not be having that much impact.
Yeah, I love that he got speed prisms, though.
Yeah.
That's going to help him to really keep that pressure on. I think
it's
one of the most, almost double your turret ring at that point.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most necessary upgrades in PvT late game.
Yeah,
is to be able to come out and just make it so that they really have to work to get that Warp Prism.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's one of the great Protoss strengths is that you can warp in an army suddenly everywhere. And the more map Terran has, that's the more locations they have to defend.
Yeah, I think if you don't late game have Prism speed, Observer speed, and 2 Robos, you're really doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah,
in
well,
this
you're not playing the late game correctly.
Yeah, you should be able to almost always get a Prism in. Right? If they double up the turrets once you get speed, send in 2 prisms, right? Because they stop defending their main as much. Anyways, a nice push forward here. Just beautiful storms. Does have a Tempest out now.
Yeah, and the Tempest is great. This is like the big siege weapon here for Protoss.
I love that he just pushed the Archon into the Liberator range. And then he's like, okay, I guess we're going. We're going to save this Archon. Ooh, so low. So low.
He needs to move that
Colossi.
1 red Colossus to the back, please.
No, Tasteless. It's bait.
Is he really going to try to just target this down? Oh, it's so close. He almost got it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big kill if you get it, but if you don't, you feel a little bit silly here.
3 more Tempests are coming.
Feels like he's starting to break him.
Yeah,
it does not have, he's not maxed anymore. His army supply is getting lower and lower in comparison.
Yeah, it does seem like herO is starting to cause Cure to deteriorate. And I think this is actually that moment here. There is just enough splash for these Colossi. I'd be so curious to see the kill count on each of these Colossi, because they've been in this game the entire time.
They're pretty ridiculous.
Spraying down so many infantry.
He keeps attacking in this planetary, though.
Yeah.
It's a little bit stressful.
Oh, this
like
is
don't
funny.
attack planetaries and don't attack into Liberators. Those are the 2 greatest defensive things that Terran has.
Okay, well, I guess he thinks he could just click it down. I guess, you know, they try to repair it, and you just... It's funny the angle he picked here, because it's like, now I can be surrounded by Terran. But I think he's basically done it here. More Marauders are going to come down, though, and I guess there's really not much of a ground army under here anymore, is there? Oh, there's an Archon underneath those Tempests. I was wondering why he didn't just go ahead and shoot down those last 2 Colossi.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see, no, there's not.
I just kept, I was like, what is he firing at? And so these, by the way, these batteries, guys, were set up for Tempest to come in later on, so they would be able to continuously sustain themselves.
Yeah.
But now that the army's been destroyed,
well, look,
suddenly Cure is getting this really weird foothold on this Protoss outpost.
Well, if herO loses this game, he is going to be kicking himself for attacking that planetary that many times, because this was huge advantage to herO for a little bit there, and now suddenly you look at this is kind of a garbage army.
In case you guys are wondering, like, well, if you can't kill the planetary, what are you supposed to do? A better idea is to probably just try to wait for them to expand again and fight that.
You can rotate around so many times and poke the army with Tempest.
Yeah.
Like, you don't act, you can make the Terran leave the game by running them out of money, right? You just keep on engaging army, move, like here's a command center that is not a planetary, but if you keep right-clicking on planetaries and they keep on repairing, you are in some trouble.
So Terran is going to try to also expand towards the top. It's funny because herO had so much momentum. I thought we were like right to the brink here.
He had the army that was like a finishing army too.
Yeah.
But now he's got to rebuild that technicality a bit. Look at what he's got: 4 Disruptors, 6 High Templar, and 3 Tempests. This doesn't feel like an army that's that good at
Well,
attacking.
the Tempests don't have that much use if you don't have this big, perfect army underneath them, you know?
Yeah.
Suddenly they're actually pretty awkward, to be honest. I mean, you're seeing now what happens with his infantry as he just dodges these Disruptor shots, comes in here and kills everything. And I think we might be to the point where Terran can finally break free. Terran was pretty cornered here. But, I mean, look at this. More and more infantry are spilling across the map. And
he's flanking with 4 Stalkers. That's not how you want to do it. All right, blinks away with those. It looks like he's finally going to lose his shield battery yard. And this is not looking so good for herO, that's for sure. Doesn't even have enough Stalkers to one-shot of those SCVs.
Yeah. This is sad. I mean, this is looking really bad now for herO.
Yeah, it was. This game was a bit of a throw.
He just doesn't seem to be as practiced, as refined.
Well, he's making moves that I think he's confident with and would kill most Terrans most of the time.
Yeah.
But if you want to like get really deep in GSL, you can't be attacking into a planetary time after time.
Yeah, well, that's like, you know, these are some of the core rules in StarCraft, right? Yeah. I mean, that you are going to trade so inefficiently attacking into a planetary that is surrounded by units that can obviously repair it.
There are exceptions to it, you know?
Right.
But it was not needed. He didn't need to do that to win. That wasn't that situation.
Well, now he's going to be able to kill these 2 Archons. They're completely alone. Oh, I spoke too soon.
You fool. Do you have any idea how many shields Archons have?
And now I'm a laughingstock. But yeah, I mean, this infantry army, I just don't know that you can really stop it. And to think that minutes ago, herO looked like he was about to have the death blow on Cure, and we were going to be going to Game 3, and now somehow Terran is pushed all the way across the map, and this game might end on the opposite corner of the map that we thought it was going to end on here. A true turnaround.
Yeah, very strong by Cure to just kind of hold on and wait for those mistakes and capitalize upon them. The probe's coming out to fight, herO with nothing left, and unfortunately for him, he's going to exit out of here. No chance at BlizzCon or anything like that. Another rough year for herO.
GG. Better luck next season.
You know, to be fair, we still have Super Tournament 2 coming up.
Yeah, that's the one he always wins.
Yeah, no, he kills it in Super Tournaments. So hopefully he'll be able to qualify for that and show us some good games before the year's up.
Well, this means we've got a TBT.
Yes.
Are we ready to cast a TBT?
I'm ready to cast a TBT. I haven't casted any TBTs this week.
With your favorite esports commentator, Tasteless. Are you ready, Artosis?
You rate yourself awfully high, my friend, but yes, I am ready. It's what I've dreamed of. I came in today, you said, you know what? I hope we only have those first 2 TVPs, and then PvPs and TBTs all the way.
That's right. All right, guys, the final match, Cure versus TY. Only one of these guys will survive to the round of 8. We're going to find out who it is in just a little bit, because we're going to go to a short break.